I'm not gonna lie. I was absolutely one of those people who looked at K-pop strangely. I don't know, it's just the way that the groups were singing and dancing combined with the type of music that I was hearing, those things just didn't gel with me, and especially the fandom that was attached to it. I don't know, it wasn't my thing. I never hated it, I just let it be from afar. Okay, so now fast forward about 10 years and I'm getting pretty heavily exposed to K-pop. I'm learning about groups beyond BTS and Blackpink, even though I have found an appreciation for them. And that's all come to a head when a couple weeks ago I went to the Aespa concert in Orlando, which you can watch right here on my vlog channel. It was honestly a really great experience, and I never thought I would even go to a K-pop concert, let alone enjoy myself as much as I did, and keep these songs in regular rotation in my playlist. And it just made me think about what K-pop is. So what even is K-pop? It's Korean pop. Keep up. Okay, I'm joking. K-pop is a genre originating in South Korea that blends Korean and Western musical influences. The genre is characterized by colorful musical and artistic aesthetics, high fashion, and often complex choreographies. But that definition by itself just makes me wonder, where's the line? Fashion, choreography, artistic aesthetics, all of these things are very reminiscent of many pop stars. Like, think about the Jackson 5 and really just Michael and Janet, Beyonce, Madonna, Lady Gaga. All of these artists made a name for themselves on these same facets. So why is K-pop considered a different entity altogether? Racism. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But the K community is no stranger to different bouts of racism from outsiders, but also within itself. I've personally asked a few of my friends if they're familiar with K-pop, or if they were listening to it, and they straight up said that they would not listen to music where they didn't understand the language. Now, first of all, that's insane. There's so much good music in the world and you're choosing not to listen to it because it's just in a language that you don't speak. Second, that reason feels like not partaking in a thing because it's foreign, and that's not much better. As a genre, there's been a lot of claims in the community about how they're treated in the industry. Probably the most public of which being that the Grammys have never awarded a K artist, even though there's been multiple nominated, and they've even had, well, let's keep it stacked, BTS perform at the very end of the ceremonies just to keep the viewers reined in the whole time. Members of the K-pop community also have a history of being discriminatory within themselves, but also to the idols, which is a whole conversation that I won't get into now because it can go on literally forever, but I felt like it was worth mentioning. In my opinion, at least, it's the culture. It's not just about the music to them. The K-pop world is more than just glitzy, shiny music and fun outfits. It's quite literally a lifestyle. You learn about your favorite artists, what their interests are. You learn the dances that go with the songs. You collect photo cards. You watch them on variety shows. There's a whole world behind the music and these idols that we just don't have in the West. So let's lessen the scope a little bit and let's talk specifically about just the music. And buckle up, because this might be a hot take. I, Richard Ashby, have a hard time believing that K-pop is a genre. Now this may stir some angry comments to people, but I just cannot buy that K-pop is a genre. Now genre can include the surrounding culture behind the music, but if we're just talking simply about the music, it's the characteristics that separate one type of music from the next. It's why EDM doesn't sound like classical, which doesn't sound like swing, which doesn't sound like pop. Now, in the year 2025, I also do feel like genre is becoming more and more of an obsolete term as more artists are pushing the envelopes of what a genre is and can be by mixing and mashing them together and making things we've never heard before. I mean, just look at Gorillaz. What kind of music do they make besides Gorillaz? And I think the same is true for many K-pop artists. K-pop is quite simply just pop music from Korea, and I don't think we need the label anymore. More and more K artists are moving toward more Western definitions of pop. Fast Forward by John Sunmi can very easily be a Katy Perry song. Supernatural by New Jeans, that's a New Jack Swing beat through and through. And Whiplash by Aespa, that's a textbook house beat. Also, more K artists are working with Western artists now. Rosé just put out a song with Bruno Mars. Lisa just put out a song with Doja Cat and Ray, which is a banger, by the way. Jungkook has songs with Usher and Charlie Puth. Hell, even Psy worked with Snoop Dogg a couple years ago. So why do we continue to separate Korean artists as if these two worlds aren't colliding and intertwining with each other? Well, a part of me wants to think that maybe K-pop is benefited from the separation. There's always been this air of underdogness to being in the K-pop world. Even though the community is bigger, more active than it's ever been, and the artists are more global than they've ever been, there's still this feeling of we're the little guys that moves throughout the K-pop community. It felt at a time that every time BTS or Blackpink or another group like that would put out a song or a video, it would break a record that was previously set by them. So maybe just being separated allows the community to feel more connected to themselves and their artists, and it allows them to celebrate themselves in a way. I think it's a fair question to ask, what makes it K-pop? What makes an idol anyway? Best answer I can really come up with is, it's just a vibe, man. It doesn't have to do with being exclusively Korean, because plenty of K artists aren't Korean born. I mean, Rose is from New Zealand, Bam Bam is from Thailand, Jackson Wang is Chinese. Maybe it's the way you have to get into the industry, and it's the rigorous training that you have to go through. Most K-pop idols go through rigorous, sometimes Olympic level training as young as 13 to prepare for a potential debut. Which immediately leads me to Cat's Eye. Cat's Eye is a K-pop group that's based in Los Angeles, California, but they are managed by HYBE, which is the same company that runs BTS. They made a lot of waves last year with their song Touch. But the point I'm trying to make there is only one member of Cat's Eye is of Korean descent. And the audition process to join Cat's Eye was different from traditional. 120,000 people auditioned to be part of this group, and the top 20 were moved to a reality show to compete to see who would be part of this group. And that group became Cat's Eye. I can't say that's entirely wild though, because that's basically how One Direction was formed. But one listen to a Cat's Eye song or a look at one of their music videos and it is undeniably K-pop. Their productions, their visuals, and just the vibe. Anyway, this has been a whole discussion about mostly nothing, if I'm honest with you. It's just some thoughts that I had on my mind since I'm becoming more and more active in the K-pop space. I actually have a whole note on my phone of songs that I want to eventually cover, and a lot of them are K-pop. It's a really fascinating part of the music industry, and I really suggest giving it a listen, especially if you were like me and dismissed it at first. If you are wanting to give it a listen, here are some of my standout tracks that I think they're just wonderful. Well, that's it for me. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. And if you want to see me do some K-pop, I did a cover of Jungkook's Standing Next to You last year. Go check that out. I'll catch you guys next time.